Testing.
Testing.
Anyway,
We're going to do deck profile for a change. We have... I'm going to be Gardevoir this time. Gardevoir.
oh, sorry. Back to your face.
Continue.
Gardevoir deck profile from Bremen Regionals last weekend. This is my top 32 one. My first ever top 32 regionals, I'm very happy with, obviously. Yeah, there's going to be a quick profile of it and explain some of the choices. But you've probably seen the deck multiple times on different sites anyway, so... Oh well, we'll go for it anyway.
Yeah.
4 routes. Pick this one because it's the one that had lying around.
That's not the real reason, is it? Simon?
Really strategic.
Yeah, there's basically different reasons, to be honest.
Why wouldn't you use the psychic type one?
Because Psycho 1
terrible.
just like dies to SQ1 GX.
Okay, so it's not the one you'd line around. There was a specific reason for it.
Well, I didn't even notice one existed.
Okay.
So yeah, it is basically the one I had lying around.
Right.
No idea, Tom. You
Top
tried
32, everyone.
He tried to make you intelligent, but no.
3 of this earlier. I have a reason for this one.
It's shit.
It is actually, to be honest, because quite frankly, I used the idea is quick turn. If you get 2 heads, you knock out a Gardevoir.
However, yours is still really susceptible to things like Espeon. I mean,
Reasonably. But that's not the issue. I used it 3 times over the weekend, and I got 1 head.
Well, that'll teach you, wouldn't it?
What, 1 heads out of 3 attacks, or 1 heads each time?
1 head out of 3 attacks.
next time,
Fantastic.
just use Magical Smack, or whatever the attack's called.
I probably should have done, quite frankly.
Just use the Fairy one for dark resistance.
Yeah.
Surely.
There's no Dark type spout. Dark one's in your plane. You don't need the Dark resistance.
You're never going to flip 2 heads on Gardevoir.
25% of the time you will.
That.
See, in his 4th game, when it happens,
Fucking hell.
at a locals, he'll get there.
Anyway.
It will happen.
Are you going to take it a flip teeny?
Essentially.
like
We'll
fighting
think
back.
about tech room at the end.
Yeah. 3 Gardevoir. I want 4, but don't room for it. And 3 is all you really need, to be honest. Great card. Just ridiculous.
What does it do?
I think everyone should know, but lots of HP. Seek Spring, once turned for an attack, may attach an Fair Energy, basic Fair Energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Infinite Force, 30 times amount of energy attached to both players' active Pokemon. So it scales up very quickly indeed. And it's GX attack, Tron GX. You may shuffle 10 cards from this pile into your deck.
Rip Gardevoir.
Broken.
Pretty much. I mean, I did end up playing against Decidueye at one point. I started the turn with 2 energy on my Gardevoir. He had none of his Decidueye as active, no damage counters on there at all. I had 3 Gardevoir in play. I ended up going ahead and piling it up to get the 1-shot KO on the Decidueye.
Jesus.
A little bit lucky, admittedly, to get that, but at the same time, when you can just do that, the card is ridiculous. When you can do 240 with 1 hit.
Did you dab?
No, because this is day 2.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, and it was game 1 of day 2, I thought, let's not go overboard here.
Can't really high five him for that either. I smashed you, high five.
1 Gallade, because Gallade is actually incredible. Premonition is look top 5 of the deck, top 5 cards of the deck, and put back in the order, so you just stack your deck and off your drawers. And Sensor Blade is a great non-GX attack use for 1/3 damage, which can give around Baby Ninetales and anything else that might be annoying like that.
Dramper.
Dramper, what's that Dramper? It's very good against Greninja. Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah. Very good against, no, that's against Zonius as well, before they break. Just
Yeah.
one-shot Zoniuses. It does have sort of utility. It's really nice to have as an option.
To be fair, 130 for a DC is not bad. One's going up to 160. Oko's Marshadow with Band.
Yeah. Indeed. It does.
It's very versatile, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a really nice card to have around. Nice option to have. So I played the 2 Remoraid and 1 Octillery. I used the Iron Pool Remoraid partly because I never really looked at everyone, and also actually I prefer having the option to discard stadiums.
The other one's Wild River, it switches.
Yeah.
Which you just discard to retreat anyway. So it's
Yeah.
just...
Don't really gain anything from that. And then Artillery, Abyssal Hand, draw a card to have 5 in hand is incredible. I wish I had 2, but one's again all you really need.
How often did you prize it?
I'm not sure I did, to be honest. I might have done very occasionally, I just never really needed it.
Gardevoir's a deck where it's just like, it's only really good when you're really struggling late game.
I often do it early game and just help me keep going through the mid game.
Okay.
And no one targets it.
I suppose it makes you less reliant on your draw supporters, giving you more access to use your other supporters that we'll see in a minute.
Yeah, and indeed, the combination with Gallade as well. Just go stack your deck and then pick the cards you want to draw.
Even if you draw one, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
With premonition.
Both out.
It's a fantastic little combo, fantastic card. I wish I had a second one, but I never needed it. 3 Tapu Lele, the best card in the format, probably.
Agreed.
Playing bench, search deck supporter. Cool. Energy right. DC, trade free change attached to this and your opponent's active. Not applying to this.
Who'd have thought back in black and white format you'd have Jirachi and Mewtwo in one card?
Indeed.
They smash.
Yeah.
And it's 170 HP as well.
And it's a walking max potion if you decide you want to play the cycle.
Yeah, and it has no weakness.
Yes.
And only one free. It's a card.
It's insane.
Anyway, I'm glad I had 3. Multiple times I wanted one late game to set for a supporter just to go ahead and win the game with.
Did you ever find you had 3 clogging your bench?
Nope, never found that. I always found I would use 1 early game to try and set up Bridget and set stuff up. Maybe 1 mid game to find supporter to keep going.
Did starting with it hurt you at all?
Nope, having 3, I didn't care if I started with too much.
Okay.
And it's the card I least want to start with.
Obviously.
But if I start with them, I'm not that fast.
Okay. I guess it becomes a good attacker if you do get the Gardevoir up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if I start with it, if I just go aggro Lele, people just don't deal with it. There are multiple times I just went, here's a Lele, I'll start with, here's a DC, I'm not going to punch your out and punch your Vulpix.
Well, even
I'm going to
then,
start getting knockouts.
Turn 2, if you manage, or your turn 2, if you manage to get that one Gardevoir, DCE Secret Spring.
Yeah.
Choice band.
Choice band, that's 90 before you've looked at your opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of damage.
That's the thing. I was just killing stuff, playing it, and stopping their setup, and people just couldn't deal with it.
Cool.
So even at start with, I don't care too much. The cards I'm meant to start with are Vulpix and Diancie. So they both serve different roles, and it's odd having one of each, but I like having one of each for the options.
It's the most debate about subject in Guardia, I think.
It is. As to what you play, how many do you play.
If any.
Yeah. So I find if I start with a route or something like that, I will search out a Vulpix to retreat into it and then have a free attack to help set up and beacon. But if I start with the Diancie, I'm not sad to see it as a way to go ahead and just start evolving.
If you think about it, you start off with your Diancie. Say you go in second, you're very likely to start off with either an Ultra Ball,
Yep.
or some way of support to find your Guardy, find or your route. So
Yeah.
Turn 1 evolution into a Curly that's very strong, or Octillery.
Yeah.
To continue drawing next turn.
Indeed, there was a game where I went second. I opened Diancie and Bridget and Engie. I spent Bridget for 3 routes.
Yeah.
Attached Sparkle for a Curlier. Next turn, I drew another Curlier. Played support, get another Curlier. So that's 2 on there. But Sparkle to the 3rd one. I was like, well, I'm basically set up here. I have no artillery, but I don't need it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, if I don't start with it, I like having the Vulpix as a way to just go ahead, retreat into it, and have someone to set me up for free.
Okay. Cool.
That's probably it's 21? No, 19? No, I don't even know anymore.
Count it out.
5, 8, and that's 11. 19. 19 Pokemon.
Cards.
I'm there now. I know I'm doing.
Was it supporters?
Supporters! 4 Sycamore.
Standard.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say about that. Sky
Yeah,
Hand
no.
sounds incredible. 4N.
Standard.
Yep.
Artwork, I approve.
3 Guzma.
Standard.
It just wins games. Late game, go ahead. Lay for Guzma, just win. 3 Sorona. So, Gardevoir is fantastic, but if people can start to like 2-shotting it, then you go down quite quickly. Quite engine intensive. Ace will get stuff back. Save Gardevoirs. Make new ones, power them up.
I think Acerola is a really underrated card right now. We're moving back to a 2-shot format. Obviously, we've still got Guardian play, but it takes a while to set up. So you're constantly doing 30, 60, 90
There's
within
no
3 floors.
downside to Ace Roll in your Gardevoir either, because if you've got,
Exactly.
say if you've got another couple set up, all that energy back in your hands back down the same turn.
Yeah, and you just go through Curlies as well. And just you can go ahead and like Pyramid, have Route Curly, Gardevoir, Goblin's damage.
You can play it similar to how you'd play with the old Garchomp, leave a stage 1 on there. When you Ace a Roller, you've then got your Guardian.
Yeah.
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 The card is so fantastic in this deck. I mean, people would play a Max Potion,
Yeah.
which I understand, but I don't like the fact you use the energy. People would play. I saw one person play a Fairy Drop, which is quite
Spicy.
It's very spicy. I love the idea of it, but it's just another item, and it doesn't do enough. It's 50 damage.
Yeah.
This is.
I really like Double Acerola here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Maybe just pick a Lele to use again later on. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Skylar, one of to search a rare candy if you need it or another item I'd need. Didn't use it too often, but it's nice to have it there. Mm-hmm. Bridget, because the card's insane in the moment. It gives you all your basics and setup.
Yeah. Standard again.
Yep.
What do you tend to get with Bridget? Was it double routes and something else? Or?
Double routes Remoraid usually.
It depends what I start with. If I start with a route, it would be routes Remade Vulpix. If I start Remade, it would be double route Vulpix.
Yeah.
If I start Lele,
It's mainly going to be the Remoraid.
it'd be like double route Remade.
Yeah.
If I start Diancie, it might be triple routes or double route Remade. It depends on what starting one.
Yeah. You know, like, just by looking at what your starting Pokemon is, it's not hard to hard to decide what you want to get.
Indeed.
It's pretty much guaranteed you're going to be getting 2 routes, though.
Yeah, but
It's routes plus utility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever is better. In ideal start, you'd have your Vulpix on board already, so you'll just go cool routes.
Remoraid.
yeah, and then
Beacon
for artillery.
indeed, and then you start setting up from there.
Continue.
Cool.
I played 2 tools and 2 choice band. This is mainly for extra reach, and especially in a mirror match. You don't want to have too many NG on your Gardevoir, and this just produces the NG.
So a lot of lists are playing 3.
Mm-hmm. Maybe even 4.
Yeah, in terms of the mirror, surely that puts you at a distinct disadvantage.
I've never had a problem with it. It's annoying when you don't see it, but I generally find mirror matches like attach 1 NG and just start hitting them and just make the opponent commit more NG to the board.
Do you Twilight a lot in the mirror?
I didn't try that much all weekend, to be honest.
Okay. So having 2, but you've always got the option for Twilight.
Yeah.
So 2 is fine. So even if you feel blowed or whatever. Yeah, it gives you up to 4. Yeah.
I'd never really found myself needing any more. Obviously, it's used for a lot of matchups, but I never wanted in any matchup to see more than 2.
Also, going back to the subject of the mirror, that's where the double Acerola comes in as well, because it's constantly poking each other for a little bit of damage, so you're resetting the board.
Yeah, you're all just trying to two-shot each other and trying to two-shot each other for the least amount of energy possible. Mm-hmm. And so, by Acerola
and choice band comes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it all works together.
Acerola and choice band and all the rest of it just all comes into play, and it just makes them.
So would you say your list is heavily focused on beating the mirror?
There was a lot of that to it. But I think it's also a bit of play style as well. Mm-hmm. I was just want to make the list sort of consistent and have redundancy to it. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of items where maybe I don't necessarily need the full count that I'm playing. But I want to make sure I have enough so that if I have to discard them, I'm not losing too much.
Cool.
That's basically how I built this deck to be. It's more my style of playing.
Yeah.
But it does mean there's a lot of space that you could go, well, you can take this out for enough attack.
Yeah. There's a lot of people, myself included, that would change a couple of cards in your list just for tech cards.
Yeah. But I knew going into a big tournament, I just want a consistent deck to keep me going through every round.
Yeah.
And having the...
And obviously it worked.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just want to see the same hands every time, pretty much. I want to see go through the same plan every time. And it did. Apart from when I started Lele Skylar 3 times in a row. That was an odd one. Anyway, other items. Ultra Ball, 4 of them.
Standard.
4 rare candy. I mean, I'm playing 4 rare candy and 3 Curlier. Some people play 3 and 3 or 4 and 2.
Well, it's added protection against Espeon EX as well.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're going through the Curliers build, you're sort of setting your Curliers up, the Espeon EX, you back to your Rolts, you've got your 4 candies.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You've got your 3 Curliers, if they start Espeoning you, if you can manage to get out of the way, you can then still go back through. You're not just playing like 1 Curlier, and if your candies are gone, you're screwed.
No, indeed. It gives expression there. And like I said, redundancy. If I'm having to discard one of these to an Ultra Ball or a Careless Ultra Ball, I know the rest of them are backer, so I'm not fussed too much. Mm-hmm. Double Field Blower, because I hate Gardevoir.
Yeah, I think every deck includes at least 2 now.
Would you consider bumping it to a third?
I guess that's another option for Twilight, isn't it? You
Yeah.
shuffle both back in.
I mean, if you play as Gardevoir, chances are be a version that has Trash Lunch in it as well.
Yeah.
And so you want to try like this, go ahead and put all your items back in.
I
So.
was also thinking more along the lines of not just Gardevoir, but things like Potown. Really help the deck.
Oh yeah, indeed. The Potown's an annoying card to play against.
You know, and if people are playing Potown, quite often from what I've seen, it's been at 4.
Yeah, and I hated playing against it. Every time I thought, like, just get rid of this card now.
Cool.
But two's enough. Again, if you could find one for a third,
Yeah.
3 would be fantastic. But yeah, I couldn't find it myself. And then recovery, we have 1 Rescue Catcher and 1 Super Rod.
I think that's fairly standard here.
Yeah.
1 to get 1 back instantly, 1 to shuffle 3 in, plus energy.
Yeah,
It's also handy if you have to bin a Guardian with an Ultra Ball and you're like, haven't got anything left, you got your Curlier sitting there.
Kind of
Your
want it back.
Stretcher
Yeah.
is essentially almost like an Ultra Ball, isn't it? You know, I'll have that, thanks.
yeah, pretty much what I use it a lot of time for. Just go ahead, get them back that either Route or Gardevoir. Just go ahead instantly.
It was
Get
very
it
good
play.
for Tapu Lele.
Indeed, that's what I did a couple times as well. Super Rod was mainly, I think, if I was running out of energy.
Yeah.
But it can also be just like deck refresh or anything. Energy count. 4 DCE, because I want 60 more damage from Gardevoir. And 8 Fairy. I've seen some build play 7. And I feel like I'm disappointed to see the Fairy energy enough. I've seen some build play Professor Letter, which is just another item to add on for Trash Large to do more damage.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way on Friday. Fair Professor, that in theory was really nice, you know, but at the end of the day, all it done is fueled my opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
The other option is people have been playing Rabombi as well. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a nice idea, but it's another bench sitter.
Yep.
I think it's Rabombi or Octillery. I think
Yeah,
you're going for both.
I think Artillery is just better
It is,
as a utility.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of space in this deck. If you really want to, you could cut an Energy, you could cut a Rare Candy, you could cut a Skylar, you cut a Remoraid, you can cut the Vulpix or Diancie. There's a lot you can do. But I think in terms of trying to find a consistent base, this is probably... Well, this is obviously for my playstyle, the way I enjoy playing it. To just go, this is to do the same thing every game.
Yeah. I mean, 8 is an even number. I like even numbers. Even numbers work.
That's it. In terms of deck modification, then, so obviously you've been through it all, you're quite happy with your list. Would you consider testing out the Sylveon variant? Or what are your thoughts on that?
I'm intrigued to try the film version. I did see it in action a couple of times over the weekend, and it was... I mean, it was definitely devastating when it got working. But firstly, you need to see that Eevee early on and, like, the perfect start for it to make it worthwhile. And have the energy in hand. I mean, you look at least 2-2 Sylveon, maybe 3-2, in order to... And you then got to find the room in the deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it might just be a case I would have to cut Remoraid's Artillery, Vulpix, Diancie, and that's into the room.
Yeah.
But then I feel as though I'm losing so much mid-game utility from Artillery.
Well, you can cut that if you've got your 2-2 Sylveon and an Angry.
Potentially.
I've seen some lists playing a 1-1 Sylveon and a 1-1 Auxiliary. What do you think on that?
That sounds like you asked trouble with prizes.
Yeah.
It's a 10% chance of prizing the one-off. And if you got 1-1 like that, you got about a 33% chance of prizing either part.
Yeah.
And that just sounds like you're going to have run into so many issues if you're doing that.
Cool.
But I think with Sylveon, it's then played like Power City. You play GX and you just devastate everyone.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that does that potentially helps with the Metagross matchup.
Indeed.
And the Xerneas break matchup.
Yes.
Yeah, indeed. It's an incredibly powerful combo if you pull it off. I'm just not sure I can find enough room in the deck to do that one myself.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fair.
Cool. So, you happy with the list?
Yeah, I got stuff on the tryout. I've got ideas. But generally, as a base to work off, I like it. I'm happy with them.
Any final thoughts?
I mean, the deck is still powerful. I know it only got like one top 8 slot and no top 16 in Bremen. But I could argue I was on the same points as 12th to 16th. It's just resistance that knocked me out of top 16, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The deck is still powerful. The deck is still tender. It has still got a target on its head, because if you ignore it, Gardevoir can still just go and go, oh, by the way, big numbers one for everything.
Yeah.
So do you reckon it's still a safe play, even though it's got a massive target on its head, for a regionals play? So if someone was thinking about, I'll take Guardy to regionals, but it's got a massive target on its head, how would you feel about taking it to another big regionals?
I think it's still worth play. It's consistent, if you know what to do with it, you can battle through most matchups. I mean, Metagross is, I think, practically, well, not necessarily winnable, but you have to get a fast start to stop them.
You ideally have to stop them evolving into Metagross.
Yeah.
You know, you have to kill them in the Metang stage.
Indeed. So it's not easy, obviously. But most of the matchups, I think, are winnable. I mean, Glispo Garb is meant to be a bad matchup for Gardevoir. I played 3, I beat 2 and drew 1. It's not that bad at all, to be honest. If you can get it going, it's just a learn deck. I think I'd say it's a reasonable play to get through to day 2.
Okay.
But I'm not too sure if it's a play to get you through to top 8.
So it's a deck to sort of round off your points for Worlds for day 2. So like,
if
you're looking for that 80-point push.
If you're looking for those points to try and get your level up and just try and get to the Worlds invite, that's a good play. If you want to try and go for the wins, then you might want to try something a bit different, a bit more interesting.
Okay, cool. Anything else from anyone? No?
Thank you very much for your profile.
Yeah, thanks for sharing
that
with us.
was another video from your boys at
Testing.
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 Anyway.